If you're an intermediate guitar player, congratulations on reaching an imaginary level of skill that there is no hope for advancement from. But that doesn't mean you can't learn some cool little licks. So this is what I think is the most fun and impressive sounding intermediate thing that guitar players can do. All right, and you may already know what it is. It's the hallowed double hammer-on. Okay, so you probably know what a hammer-on is. Like, let's hit the D string and then just, I'm gonna pick it once and then come down and hit the second fret on the D string. Hammer-on, right? Double hammer-on is one pick, two of them. Okay, so today we're really gonna learn about how to incorporate double hammer-ons in your playing. This is all gonna be in the key of D major, and I think it's gonna sound really good. So, first of all, start with the D major chord, but we're gonna make it a little classier. D major 7, because this is a Sean Daniel video, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the open D string and then the second fret on the highest 3 strings. Okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the notes that correspond with this chord's scale, right? The first 6 notes, because we need 2 3-note hammer-ons. To do a double hammer-on, you need 3 notes. So what's really great about this is the 2 main chords we're gonna use the same pattern. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Okay? And then if you wanted to continue the scale, you just go C sharp, D, 2, 3 on the B string, which we're going to get to by the end of this lesson. But for this one, it's just going to be. Okay? So I'm going to kind of make a little riff out of this. It's going to be a little bit of a double hammer-on and then still incorporate the other notes in just more of a picked way. So all together, the first exercise is going to sound like this. Okay, so we've got the chord first. I'm getting the root note, the open D, and then I'm going to get the chord, okay? And then I'm muting the chord with my hand, so I'm just kind of letting the pressure off, right? Just kind of like a quick hit, and then I get that cool reverb kind of trail coming off. And then after that, I'm going to start doing the double hammer-ons. Okay, so there's the first one. D, E, F sharp, open 2, 4. All right, now if that's too much of a reach for you, I would encourage you to stretch a little bit, or you can actually slide a little bit. So we'll talk a little bit more about slides later on. But I want you to really try to reach that with either your pointer finger and your ring finger, or your pointer finger and your pinky. If you really want to get crazy here, right? So D major chord. All right, so hammer on, G to 4 to G, and then back through. Okay, so after that initial double hammer on, I'm actually picking through the notes. D, and then now that I've noticed I'm playing it differently than I said I was. So I'm getting root, down, up, and then the mute, right? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so it sounds like kind of like a cool little fun piece of the song that really doubles as an exercise. We're just doubling up. Speaking of all the doubling, you notice that I'm rocking this awesome new T-style Reverend guitar with the Fishman Greg Cox signature pickups. Sweetwater has sponsored a couple videos this month, and the Fishman pickups are the focus of the sponsor of this video. And it's cool because you have like double the tellies. You can press this little button right here, and then it goes from like a different style, different era telly. This one really has, I think of it as a mid-range boost. Okay, so if I'm just playing it just solo guitar without like a band or anything, I usually always keep the boost engaged, but it'll cut through a mix a little bit better depending on what the other instrumentations are. Also works if you just want a little bit of extra room. And the cool thing about these Fishman pickups is you can charge them via USB instead of using like some active electronics having to use a battery or something like that. And they last an incredibly long time. So thank you to Sweetwater, thank you to Fishman for checking out and sending this guitar over, because I think it sounds fantastic. So now that you've been practicing your double hammer-ons with that first chord and that first riff, we're going to go to the next chord in this key, A major. Okay, and now we can do exactly everything the exact same way. Exactly everything the exact way. Didn't know why I needed to say exactly twice, but just move everything a string lower. So the nice thing about this is, right there we've got A major, open A, 2, 2, 2, same thing. And then I just do everything the same way I did on the D string, but now I'm starting on the A string. A, 2, 4, there's that double hammer-on. And then I'm kind of going back through it. Now the reason this works and staying in the same key is because A is the 5 chord in the key of D. Remember, D, E, F sharp, G, A. And the 5 chord, the only difference between the 1 chord and the 5 chord is the 5 chord has a flat 7 as compared to a major 7. So A7 would be the extended version of this chord. So if we were going to play all the notes starting on A, we'd actually have A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, and then G, A. There's that flat 7. Open 2 like that, right? Whereas in D, there's a half step to get back there. So because that 7th doesn't come into the equation in the way that we're playing this piece of music, it doesn't matter. We can kind of just go back and forth. Or if you want to play A7, again, it's open A, 2, D, open G, 2, B. And back to D major 7. Okay? But it doesn't have to stop there. In fact, we could do a 6-note double hammer-on centric thing for every single chord in this key. The next most common, or the next, there's 6 main chords in a key. We can run through them all really quick. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, check out my Patreon because I go into much more depth talking about chord scales and stuff. But the main chords in the key of D major are D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, and then that 7th extra chord, the 7th chord would be C sharp, half diminished, and back to D. Now we can do this little 6-note pattern through everything, and then it'll sound like really cohesive and tight because we're kind of doing the same thing on each one of these chords. So let's go to the B minor. Alright, because it's, the relative minor in this key, so a really common chord. I always like playing it as a B minor 7 because I cannot get enough of hammering on with a B minor 7. In fact, since we're going minor, let's take these Gristle Master pickups and go to the bridge. A little hotter, right? Really great sounding. So I'm going to take the 2nd fret, I'm going to bar it, and then I'm going to have my ring finger come down on the 4th fret of the D string, and my middle finger come down on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then do that same thing where it's hammer on, and then get that mute, and then I'm going to play these same notes through the key, but now it's going to go 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 5, 4, 2. Okay, so again, this comes from the minor scale because B is the relative minor in the key of D. Alright, so let's try that same thing with that double hammer on, same pattern from the B. And again, the actual double hammer-on here is really just on the A string right now. We could do double hammer-ons back and forth between A and D. And then you can really kind of build up your speed like that for any of them, especially the open ones. And then that gets like really impressive sounding if that's what you're going for. But I just kind of like having this as the first double hammer-on. Like that. And again, I'm always a sucker for the neck pickup on guitars like this. So the next one I want to do is actually going to be the one that people always skip over. C sharp minor 7 flat 5 in this key, the 7 chord. okay? I think this is a perfect example to use just as an opportunity to talk about the cool kind of double hammer-on symmetrical shapes that you could do over the 7 chord. All right, so remember, we said that C sharp was the 7th note in the key of D. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So that 4th fret on the A string is our C sharp root note. Then we go 4, 5, 4, 5. Underrated chord, right? The 7 chord in any key. C sharp, minor 7, flat 5. Now, the cool thing about doing the exact same pattern starting on a C sharp is we have a symmetrical shape that looks like this. 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. And again, that would just be notes in the key of D starting on C sharp. C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Back and forth. So it's like the minor scale, but with a flat 2 and a flat 5. Again, so here's B's position. C sharp, D, A, and again, those are a lot of ground covered right there. We would be remiss not to talk about some of the other chords. I'm going to go right to the 4 chord. You probably already know I'm going to the 4 chord. I'm going to G major 7. But I'm going to go on the A string a little high rooted. We're going to go up the neck. So I'm going to root on the 10th fret of the A string. There's my G note. And then the 12th fret of the D string, the 11th fret on the G string, and then the 12th fret on the B string. And then now we've got this. Okay, so after that chord, this is where we're going to talk about the slide. The notes would be 10, 12, 14, 13, 12, 14. Now this is the first time we don't have a symmetrical shape. We have 10, 12, 14, and then 13, 12, 14. That's the difference between the 1 chord and the 4 chord, is we have a sharp 4. Again, if it was G major's key, it would be 10, 12, 14, 10, 12, 14. Again, but that's not this key. The key of D. Now this is where I want to talk about slides, because I've always had a hard time doing fast double hammer-on type things when my first note that I play on a string is going to be different. So what I mean by that is the first note that I play here is G, but then the first note on the D string is this 11th fret instead of 10, right? So I like to do this. I'm getting that slide because then I can reestablish my pointer finger on top. What I'm thinking of is like the top of the shape. 10, 12, 14, 11. Okay, so that'd be the 4 chord in this key. Now we can go on and on. Let's just do one more. We're gonna skip the F sharp minor because nobody plays F sharp minor in the key of D. But let's do the open E minor because that's another easy one that we can do double hammer-ons in a way where we aren't doing a symmetrical shape. So if we did E minor's position, I think is a little easier because we're ending on an asymmetrical shape rather than beginning like we were with the G major. So what I mean by that, it would be E minor, open, 2, 2, open, open, open. There's our double hammer-on, classic, open 2. And then on the A string, open 2, 4. This is a C sharp. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A sharp 6 in E minor's position here. So again, asymmetrical, open 2, 3, open 2, 4. All right, you do the same thing with the hammer-on the A string. There's that reach, right? So again, that's just kind of like an extra thing that I think is important, but it's fun to just kind of talk about. Then you can always resolve on D. But again, those double hammer-ons, however you want it, you don't have to do it this way. But being cognizant of where these exist is always great because it's a lot of fun. It always sounds good. It's not that hard to do. And especially if you're rocking it through the Fishman Greg Cox Signature Gristle Master pickups. So thanks for watching it. Check out the Sweetwater link in the affiliate. They sponsor so many of my videos. So really grateful to have them as a partner. So anything you get, please get it through or consider getting it through the Sweetwater affiliate link. Even if it's not these pickups or this guitar, anything you buy, I still get kind of like credit for. So it really helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.